Hello, beautiful people in the world. I am your host, Essence.
And I am your host, Alondra, and you're now listening to Pre-Perspective.
We're back with another video.
A good video today.
Yeah, it is a good video. I feel like these weeks literally fly by.
They do.
I don't know where time is going, and I hope I'm putting all of my times in the right spaces.
Right.
But honestly, since we've been doing this podcast, I have seen my time just fly by a lot faster.
It does not. Do you feel like you're more busy now?
Yes and no. Sometimes I have those off days where I'm like, okay, there's nothing on my agenda to do, so I feel like I'm not doing a lot.
Yeah.
Or being
what about
productive.
more like in routine?
In routine, I don't really have, like, in my eyes, I don't really have a routine, but everybody, have their habits and stuff that they do every day. But I would like to have a more structural routine. Yeah. How about you? Do you have a routine?
I mean, as I said last episode, I would say I kind of do.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless I schedule like things ahead of time, like plans or anything like that. But for the most part, I would say I do have a routine.
Yeah. I feel like your routine is scheduled around your traveling, because you do a lot of traveling. You're about to leave after this podcast.
I know.
Where are you going?
Going to Bay Area.
You going to visit a friend?
Yes, we're gonna go hang out. Have a little surprise that I probably shouldn't say, but yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Do you think? I think you can share it. I think the trip will be over by the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm surprising my best friend to a Napa trip for wine tasting.
Cool.
Yeah, with all the girls.
Awesome. So is it just you and her? You said girls. How many?
Like 5 of us.
Five of you guys. Who's the DD?
One of our friends' boyfriends.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. You guys.
Girl, we are just gonna dress pretty, eat something, and just go wine tasting.
Good. Make sure to take some good pictures of yourself and your outfit, and also the scenery.
Oh yeah.
Napa is very beautiful.
It's my first time going.
It is?
Yeah.
I've never been to Napa, but I have seen a lot of wineries out there and a lot of like scenic pictures. And it's just so beautiful.
Well, maybe it's something that we can do in the future.
We can definitely do that. We have so much planned.
A lot.
A lot.
It's
It's very exciting.
We have something very exciting coming up next week, so.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we were just planning this last month.
And now it's here.
Yeah. We can't share this with you guys
just yet.
But you guys will see what we got in store.
It's exciting.
It is. Okay, let's play this game, okay? Before we get into the topic, let's play green flag, red flag. Okay. So, are you just about to say men? Girl, this would be a whole topic for the podcast. Okay, this green flag, red flag is not about men. It's actually about clients and estheticians.
Yes. Should we start with clients or estheticians first?
Let's start with clients.
Okay.
Let's do 3 each of a red flag, or we said cons, right? Like,
yeah.
Let's go over the cons, and then after we're done, we'll go over green flags.
Yeah.
Ready?
Okay.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Okay, my first red flag of a client is a client who is constantly canceling.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not saying rebooking, like rescheduling.
No, like canceling. Like canceling. Yeah.
Like, that drives me so insane.
Especially in what we do. You know when they say like, oh, time is money. So if you have your appointment booked, I know life happens, it happens, but if like you have this like months ahead booked, if you need to reschedule, most of the time like we're willing to reschedule or I don't know, accommodate to you.
Yeah.
But literally a couple of hours before or the day before, canceling. No.
And also when it's in the middle of your schedule, like your day.
Yes, because that spot is just there now.
Like you gotta have a huge gap in your schedule. That, it drives me insane. Honestly, we are taught to book these types of clients at the end of your day.
Yeah.
But since anybody can book,
I know, with our system, like that's how it works. Like,
you can't
doesn't matter.
You can't really control that.
No.
Unless you do have something really later on in that day, you'll call them, say, hey, can you come in later? But you can't really control it. Even though the ladies say book these type of clients at the end of your day.
But still, yeah.
It's not a end all cure all.
Yeah, it's not possible. Another red flag would be when there's clients that don't really want to take the information that we're providing and just like brush it off and like, no, not that. Let me just go for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that wants to be right all of the time. And there's no way to get to them. Yeah. That is so insane.
Yeah.
I feel like those people who have their way and don't want to listen to the professionals are also the ones that are taking all of their advice from social media.
Yes. Yes. Oh, well, TikTok said this. Oh, well, Instagram said this.
Yes.
I'm like, well, Alondra's getting
You're kidding. Said this. Not kidding. Truth hurts.
Yeah,
it's the truth, though.
I mean, it is true. If you, I mean, then there's no point of doing it.
Okay, so another red flag, the third red flag, is clients who do not wear sunscreen and who wants to get all of the advanced treatments. Like the ones that come in and say, well, I'm not wearing a sunscreen, but can you do derma-planning or microdermabrasion or chemical peel on me?
Girl.
That is a red flag.
And maybe it's like people think like, oh my God, like sunscreen, like that's the most basic thing somebody could say. But sunscreen goes a long way with the rest of the treatments. Yeah. Or when they say like, oh, I don't know, I've had some that say they don't believe in sunscreen.
Yes.
I'm like, what do you mean you don't believe in sunscreen? I don't get that.
Yeah, or someone recently told me, well, back in the day they didn't have sunscreen. Well, back in the day, the human anatomy was completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Completely different. Their skin was tailored for it because of the environment they were constantly in. Well, us humans, we are forever evolving just as a species.
We're getting into 2025 pretty soon. Yeah. Just think about that.
Yeah. So the times are different. Our skin is different, even though we are similar in a way. But those people who were living outside and who were, gatherers and hunters, they were outside constantly. Yeah. And that was their environment. That was their day-to-day thing. But us today, we are indoors. We're sitting in front of, computers or iPads. Like we're constantly indoors. Yeah. So our skin isn't equipped for that.
No. There's more risks too. Yeah. Now.
There is a lot
more. Like with skin cancer, there is a lot more. Anything now, I feel like, it's kind of a risk that you can get skin cancer. So just by protecting your skin just with sunscreen, there's so many different sunscreens that you can use out there, whether it's like tinted sunscreen or the spray one. There's a lot. Creams. Yes, there's also like the balm ones, like the stick ones. There's so many options.
Back in the day when the sunscreen was becoming a thing, there was just one sunscreen. The one that had the heaviness and the weight of the cream and had like a little casting.
So that's
but it's
evolving.
Yeah, it is.
There's more.
So and also you can find some sunscreens that are ethical in their eyes. The people who think it's really, really toxic, you can find something that's more eco-friendly.
Yeah.
And, you know, clean ingredients.
In that area.
Yeah.
Another one would be when a client tells me whatever we're doing, it's not working. Along those lines, I would say.
If they're not consistent.
Yeah, if you're not consistent with it at home, then just by coming in, it's not gonna work.
I was just about to say that one.
It's a relationship. You know, it's a commitment between the esthetician and the client.
Yeah.
It has to work both ways. That's why when they say like, oh, it's not working or there's no improvement, then there's clearly something going on.
Yeah, but some inconsistencies going on. Yeah. I was just about to say that one.
Mm-hmm.
A client who is inconsistent.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a red flag. But let's go to green flags.
Yeah.
For a client. A green flag is a client who promotes their esthetician.
Yes.
A client who say, okay, I'm gonna go and talk to my mom or my niece.
Just about randomly too. Like you'll catch yourself like just talking about your esthetician. I think that's great.
That's a green flag.
I
know that someone came in and actually got a microdermabrasion treatment from me, and I'm like, okay, so how'd you hear about skin etiquette? She's like, well, I was at a hair salon and someone was talking about you guys. And so I booked. Yeah. I was like, that's so cool. Really? She was getting her hair done.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's so cool. So yeah, that's a green flag.
That is a really, really, really big green flag.
Yeah.
I think another one has to be when they ask questions, when they're like, oh, like, what is this? What is that? Oh, this smells good. Like during the treatment, that's a good one. Because they, that's how you know they're paying attention and they want to know more about what's going on.
A client that is studious, yes, that is constantly wanting to get to learn. Yeah, that's a really good flag.
There's so many.
There is so many. Another one is a client that, let's see, give me a sec. It's gonna come. I had one right here, but it left. Yeah, a client that, a client that purchase products that we recommend. And I'm not saying everything.
No, but just one thing.
And who's actually consistent. Yeah.
Because we'll notice if you're being consistent with it or not.
Yeah, a client that definitely wants to see improvement and who's consistent, who purchases from us, and who's doing the steps. Yeah. Yeah, that's a green flag.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about estheticians?
So, are we going over the red flags or green flags of an esthetician?
The red flags.
Red flags?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Red flag of an esthetician. An esthetician who, I say, since we are, high contact with people, and a client who doesn't take their hygiene into consideration, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
A client who smokes. And
a client or an esthetician?
An esthetician, sorry. I'm so sorry. An esthetician who, thank you.
Yes.
Who smokes and aren't popping a mint or
a little something, you can't be eating like tacos or something.
Yeah, and not preparing to see. Like, don't get me wrong, I love a good sushi lunch break.
Yeah, but I have to take in consideration, I'm gonna be all up on my client's face. Yeah. I can't be, having stinky breath.
That's a red flag.
That is a red flag. I would say another one would have to be the music. You can't be too loud in the treatment room. The treatment room with your loud music.
Yeah.
No.
And also the music that they select.
Yeah.
Now, there is different music genres that could be played in a hair salon that cannot be played in a spa.
You can't be playing like booty shaking the
City Girls. The City Girls and Megan Thee Stallion in your treatment room.
Absolutely not.
No, like the treatment room is supposed to be relaxing. There shouldn't be any club music in the
Don't. Afterwards, okay, it's a different story. But
yeah.
During, no. Mm-mm. I would say another one has to be if an esthetician is like on their phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I know it may like be different for other estheticians when it comes to like creating content, but that was me at the beginning when I started. I thought, okay, I'm gonna get content here and there and there and that. But now that I have the experience, I'm like, okay, maybe this is not the right thing to do. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Only if it's, a content day, or if it's like my girlfriend, really close girlfriend. I'm like, hey, are you cool with this? Yeah, just go ahead. Content. Yeah. But to be all up in their face of the phone,
no. It's just as you said, there's a time and place for it. It definitely is. And honestly, when I was starting out, I didn't feel comfortable with taking my phone out. We had a whole segment on phones in beauty school, and there was just this whole topic that my teacher shared with us that just put into perspective of how important it is to stay off of your phone, not even have it in the treatment room, right? Just to create that experience that clients need to even create retention for for your clients to come back. But I like this podcast that we're doing just because we can create content without taking the cameras, the harsh lighting into the treatment room.
You can't,
you cannot relax.
What's it called? The lamp itself is already really bright. Now imagine phone.
That's not saying that I haven't done it.
No, no.
Because I have, but I was still uncomfortable. Yeah. I was very uncomfortable. I think I have some content that I created on my social media page, and you can see how uncomfortable I was just having the camera in my client's face. And I did get her consent. I always get consent, but it's just, for me, I don't think it's ethical for my way of doing
you don't perform your best either.
You don't perform your best when you have a phone in your face. You don't.
No, you don't. Or sometimes clients like fall asleep and they're like, you don't want to be like recording them while they're sleeping with their mouth open or not.
But if it's working for another esthetician, go ahead, do. And if your client is okay with it, consent is, the most important part of it all. Do it, You want to share another one?
Yes, I had another one. Actually, I don't have another. I mean, I was gonna say a red flag of an esthetician would be like how they, present themselves. They're just getting up out of their bed, just go straight into the treatment room. I don't think that looks so
professional.
Great. Yeah, professional. Yeah. We are professionals at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
it's only fitting that they come in.
Even our nails.
Sometimes my nails are just...
They're a little dry sometimes, my hands, but oil up a little bit, moisturize before. Because this is not a type of exfoliation method that we're going to be using on them.
For sure. Oh, another red flag for an esthetician is that they don't do a proper skin analysis. That they are not asking the right questions.
How they... Even questions like what they do on a regular basis, like things like that matter.
It does matter. Yeah. It does. And not asking the right questions, and an esthetician who is not listening. As an esthetician, you need to listen to your client.
Because not everyone's the same. Not everyone's going to have the same skincare concerns. So you always have to listen to what they're saying. Because sometimes we get, me personally, I had somebody today, when they do like an online questionnaire, you're, pinpointing everything, like what you need, what you think you have, and what concerns you have. But once you come in here, it's completely different.
It is.
Like, it's not as bad as you think. So that's why the skin analysis comes in through, like, okay, maybe this is what you need, maybe this is what you don't need.
Yeah.
Listening.
Yeah.
And reading. Yeah.
Let's go over some green flags for an esthetician.
Yeah. I think some green flags has to be Essence and Essence and Alondra. There's that. You see what I did there? Man, I should be an actor. Oh my god. Besides us. The Aries in me is coming out.
Oh my god, you're so funny.
I would say good hygiene for sure. No stinky breath. Consistency with the clients. What else?
Yeah.
What do you think?
A client who is
an esthetician.
Yeah, oh, sorry, thank you. Yeah, an esthetician who is like actually building rapport with their client. Yeah. Like a esthetician who is really concerned about their client, like the individual. Yes. You know? I think that's a green flag. When an esthetician is calling their client by their name and who knows exactly what they're dealing with, like without needing to refer back to the charts. They just know already. Because they built that rapport. That's a green flag.
They observe.
Yes.
Every detail. Yeah. That's a green flag, yeah.
Yeah.
It's another one.
Oh, an esthetician who's always on time.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay if your day is going hectic. Sometimes a client is coming in late, and so it pushes you late a little bit.
But that you're there.
Yeah. Who's on time and who's actually doing what needs to be done in between their clients to make sure that their client is
satisfied.
Yeah. Yeah.
An esthetician who's informative. Yeah. Would you say informative or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a word. Yeah. Who's informative. That's a great esthetician. Yeah. I would definitely go to that esthetician.
At first, it can personal experience. At first, it can be a little overwhelming because you're like, oh my god, you know. But you get used to it. You learn.
Yeah.
And it gets easier.
You get used to the products that you're using. Like, it'll become second nature to you.
I remember you telling me that. And now I'm like, okay, I feel so, much better. Just talking to my client.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you're using it all the time. Like, I remember when I was starting, we have so much.
We have a lot.
Second season, stay tuned because we're going to bring you guys into the treatment room to show you what we have in there.
There's a lot.
There is a lot of product that we use, and I could tell that you were quite overwhelmed because I was too. I was just trying to put myself.
Oh my goodness!
I was like, Alondra, it's okay. Use what you like, and try to get familiar with what you're using, and then start to build on that, and then eventually you'll start to pick all the information up like it's second nature. And it's crazy that you can list the first 3 products and an ingredient, and our clients think it's like really cool that we can do
like,
that.
What?
Like, I don't know what you just said, but you're so informative. Thank you.
I'm like, trust me, girl, I had to remember these things, memorize what it has. And sometimes even the products have literally everything like right there.
It does.
So it makes it easier.
Yeah. Are you ready to get into the topic of discussion?
So we're going to be talking about exfoliation modules. We're going to be talking about 2 specific ones, which is microdermabrasion and derma-planning. I think we hear more of the derma-planning because of how the procedure is more than microdermabrasion. Well, at least that's how I've been seeing it. Because I've asked clients like, "Oh, like, do you know what this is? Microdermabrasion?" They're like, "Honestly, I have no idea what that is." The word just sounds really familiar. Yeah. Yeah. Or cool, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go into the microdermabrasion. It's a non-invasive procedure, meaning there is no like tools going into the body. It's more of it's a minimal abrasive movement and tool that goes onto the skin, and it gently sands the skin's outer layer. It removes 20% of the what's it called?
The dead skin cells?
Epidermis.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot. 20%.
That is a lot. So
that is a lot.
With that being said, since it does remove like a good amount of your skin, not everyone is a good candidate to get it done.
Yeah. So this tool that you're talking about, isn't there two methods of the microdermabrasion machine that you would see in a spa?
What do you mean?
So we use the crystal tip,
mm-hmm.
the one that has the crystal in on the top with the suction.
Yes.
But there, to my understanding, is another way, which is the crystals, the free forming crystal, like the crystals are actually on the skin. And they're taking the suction and getting rid
mm-hmm.
of the crystals.
Yeah, that's they told us about this in school, but since it's not really like common,
it's not.
The one we use is the
common one.
Yeah, the common one. But the other one, yeah, it's not really common.
It's not common because it's a respiratory.
Yeah, it can not yeah, I would say harm. Yeah. I would say
it could harm the respiratory system.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the crystals are, you could barely see them. Like you just, yeah, it can cause some damage for sure.
Yeah, the tips are interchangeable.
Mm-hmm.
So there is, I want to say, maybe 5 of them. Yeah. 5 different ones. Because
there's like the circle one, the tip.
Yeah.
And there's other ones too.
Yeah.
Because you can do it all over the body too.
Mm-hmm.
So there's different ones. Yeah. But I've heard and used more of the common way of using microdermabrasion.
The one with the crystal tip.
Yeah. And we'll insert some pictures of what we're talking about with the crystal tip, because I know crystal tip may sound like, oh my god, they're using like actual crystals. But no, it's like really, really tiny onto the what is the tip called?
What, the little machine?
Yeah, that goes like screwed.
It's a crystal tip.
The crystal, right?
Yeah,
the tip.
It's a little tip. We were gonna bring it into the.
It's a little bulky. It's like it's not a cute little machine.
This machine is so huge. So stay tuned for season 2. We'll probably bring it in.
We'll show it. Yeah. Some side effects it may have. You can probably bruise a little bit. It depends, how it's being used. You can experience some flakiness or dryness. More sensitivity onto your skin, and like I mentioned, not everyone is a candidate for this type of method. If you're pregnant, severe or active acne, undiagnosed lesions, active keloids, facial warts, or unmanaged diabetes, just because of that bruising, it might cause other side effects that you just don't want to, it's best if you prevent it. But it helps with sun damage, stretch marks, scarring, wrinkles. It also helps with skin texture and an even skin tone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That is cool. The microdermabrasion machine, what's attached to it is like this little, I would say, button, or what are they called?
The little, it looks like a volume.
Yeah, a little volume button. Thank you. Yeah, the volume button, or the volume, button, I would say, goes from low suction to high suction.
Yeah.
And so this machine, I like to use higher suction on the machine, and if I see the skin reacting,
meaning the bruising, that's what we mean by bruising, because it creates a suction to the skin.
Yeah, especially on the neck.
Yeah, like
I try to avoid that. I told my client, let's go ahead and turn this down
a little down. We don't want to leave no bruising.
No bruising for you to go home to your husband to explain.
Like, what is this? It's a microderm. No. Like, let's not go over that.
Yeah. Do you have anything else for the microdermabrasion?
No, that's pretty much like we said, like we would bring the machine, but it's
so huge and bulky.
Yeah.
So to stay tuned to until season 2. Mark my words, you'll see a feature.
See what we're talking about.
Yeah, because I know I love a good microderm treatment.
Yeah.
I actually use it. I use it myself for my hyperpigmentation, and it doesn't help with deep bruising hyperpigmentation, but it does help surface level hyperpigmentation. It really does. You can actually, as an esthetician using the machine, you can actually see the skin coming off of the face.
Little white flakes.
It's so cool. Yeah. And there's this little filter that you put in between the machine
and you'll see everything tips. Right there.
Yeah, it's so cool. How often can you use the microdermabrasion machine?
Say like 3. Well, the effect of it, or how often?
How often can a client come in and do the
3 to 4
weeks out?
Yeah,
like 3 to 4 weeks. Yeah, I would say once a month with your facial.
Yes, because there's like treatments before and after.
Yeah,
like in everything else.
But if you're really wanting to work on something, I think you can do every 2 weeks. I believe every 2 weeks would be okay.
Around there.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want to talk about like skincare products or anything, or do you want to wait until we get into the comment section for it?
Let's wait.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want me to go ahead and do the derma-planning? Okay. So the derma-planning facial is actually one of my favorite facials that I love.
You do them a lot. Yeah.
I do it a lot, and it's very, very satisfying to see. I have like a pinned video on my Instagram page of a derma-planning facial because I really love it. But it's a cosmetic procedure that uses a handheld instrument that has a surgical blade on the end of it. I would call it a handle. To remove the top layer of skin and vellus hair at a 45-degree angle. So this tool will enhance the facial treatment that you would get by allowing the skin to be receptive to absorb any type of chemical pills or any other products that you want to put on the skin afterwards. And so it helps to improve more challenging skin conditions like wrinkles, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and sun-damaged skin. Some contraindications means some clients that may not want to get this done or cannot get it done are clients who have open or broken skin. Cuperose rosacea skin is typically not the ideal candidate for it. Active herpes, sunburns, or irritated skin isn't the right candidate for it. Or recent injectables like lip fillers or anything like that. That wouldn't be okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like you have to really wait because it can make the injectables migrate.
Interesting.
Yeah, I would avoid getting derma-planning if you have like aggressive acne.
Yeah.
Like stage 3 or 4. I would avoid.
Not recommended.
Yeah, it's not recommended. You really got to I would say go get a consultation first if you are a
qualified
person, that has acneic skin. Go to get a consultation from your skin or from your esthetician to see if you could get it done, because you can get it done if you have acneic skin type, but that's
not inflamed, raised.
Yeah,
because I mean, like she mentioned, it is like a surgical blade. So you can get a little cut.
You can. And it could spread the infection, and that's not okay.
No.
So those who, okay, this is a really good thing for clients who have reactive and sensitive skin. Those who cannot tolerate chemical peels are perfect candidates for dermaplaning. That's good. Yeah, dermaplaning could be an alternative for chemical peel.
That's good.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. All right, so it's debunking time. Because I've been seeing all over, personally, I've been asked this question
a lot of times.
Yes, and it's not irritating. It's not an irritating question. It's actually a really valid question.
It makes sense if you know the question's being asked.
Yeah, but I don't like the stigma behind dermaplaning, because it is like a stigma.
Because like I was telling you earlier, you don't really see dermaplaning procedures, probably because of that.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is that there's a lot of people who think if you're getting dermaplaning done, your hair is going to grow back a lot thicker and darker, which that is not the case.
No.
So genetics, your genetics, your I'm sorry, I just blanked there.
It's okay.
Help me out. Genetics. I just read this.
I know.
I don't know.
Genetics.
Your genetics and other things can determine the makeup of your hair type. Okay? But your skin may seem thicker and darker when it grows back after getting the dermaplane, is because your hair is growing back evenly, which, and also more noticeable, because it's something that you removed and it starts to grow back. You're going to start noticing.
You're going to notice it.
So that's the reason why it looks thicker and darker.
But it's not. You're not growing a whole beard with that. No, it's the same hair.
It's the same vellus hair. It will not change the vellus to terminal hair, because we're not pulling the hair out of the papilla. And if you don't know what that means, go back to our hair removal. Was it the hair removal?
Yes.
The hair removal podcast episode. And
we went over what the papule is.
Yeah. So dermaplaning is not removing the entire hair. It's only removing the top layer of hair, and which is the vellus hair, and the dead skin cells. Yeah. So that's all I had to say about that.
Now, what did I think I just said? How often can you get that done?
So I would get it done, once a month.
Once a month?
Once a month. It will be great. And getting a consultation and getting on a regimen right before getting your dermaplaning facial is perfect. It's setting you up for success.
Yeah.
Successful results. Because afterwards, after you get around the 24-48 hours of getting a facial, you don't want to scrub your skin. You don't want to do any type of excessive workouts or anything to have excessive heat or excessive sweating.
Sun exposure,
yeah, because it is such a advanced treatment. You want to avoid all of that, and that's why I say get a consultation before. Prior would be a perfect option for you, like just getting it going. Also, another thing about dermaplaning, it can be a really good treatment for a bride.
Yeah.
So a bride who's preparing for her wedding
with time.
Yes, and who wants her makeup to lay flawlessly on the day of this, because it's known to help with product placement with makeup.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. So I would consider it. I would consider you start now before your wedding, just to see how your skin will react. and to get a feel of it. But I highly encourage someone who's a bride who want their skin to look really good on the day
to try that. Yeah.
To try it out. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when you showed me how to do it. Mm-hmm. It's such a nerve-wracking thing to do. Just because you have to hold that blade like if it's your life, because just with the little wrong movement, you can cut.
Yeah, you could cut someone up. And honestly, I've been doing it for a while now. Yeah. And I still...
you've been going... crazy on yourself, though. On yourself.
I do. I really do. I don't know why, but when it comes to myself... I'm like, ooh, okay, Essence. But I've been doing dermaplaning on my clients for a while, and it's very, very seldom. But sometimes I do nip my client. But I'm doing it so like at a 45-degree angle that it's not going too deep. They don't even feel it, honestly.
No, probably
when I nip, I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Because you see it, you feel it.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I nipped you. She was like, I don't even feel anything.
I'm like, just wait until you add that peel.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I actually stop and I put like the little Band-Aid over top of it just to avoid any product, and I'll take it off before they walk out, because by the time we're done with the procedure, the bleeding has stopped. Oh, and if you nip, it doesn't leave behind a scar. And I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's so like tiny. It is so tiny. Thin.
Yeah, really thin that you can't even notice it. You don't even notice it. But you definitely have to be careful. The handle that I'm talking about have a bullseye.
Yeah.
So as long as you have your two fingers on that bullseye, you're in
control.
Yeah, you're in control of the blade. Yeah, exactly. A lot of clients come in and they aren't aware that it's a surgical blade until I tell them, and they're like, their eyes go wide.
They're like, I didn't know that.
The girl, don't worry about it.
Because it goes all over, like here too, huh?
Yeah. So, that was fast.
I know.
Yeah, it was fast.
We'll be showing more of how these two are done once we, jump into next season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because
it's more of a visual thing. Like, this is something you have to see. And there's videos out there too that if you guys want to look at them. But it's more of a visual thing that you guys have to see what we're talking about more in detail.
Yeah. But you have such a light touch with the blade.
I've been told that in general that I have such a light touch, and I feel like sometimes I'm not doing enough.
I was like, is she getting everything? And I was like, Alondra, pass me that mirror right there.
I was like, oh my God.
I'm like, okay, she is doing it. Yeah. You just have such a light touch with it, which is great. Because the lighter your touch is with this blade, the better. Yeah, for sure. I don't have such a light touch.
No. Yeah.
And that's not a bad thing. It's just, I don't know. Have I given you a derma? I can't remember.
No.
I haven't given you a dermaplane. Well, stay tuned, guys, because we're going to put that in a podcast next season.
I've never gotten a dermaplane facial.
Oh, I can't wait until I give you one. You already have great skin, so you're a perfect candidate for it. Yeah.
At the beginning, when I started here, I was dealing with some breakouts, but now that I know like how dermaplaning works, I'm sure it was, good to do them.
Yeah, for sure.
But now, I'm sure I can do it.
Let's do some comparisons with.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
Well, they both help with sun damage. I don't know if it was this one or if it was the dermaplaning that helped boost collagen.
Oh, yeah. So dermaplaning actually helped with, I would say, artificial fine lines. If you have like deep set wrinkles, it won't help with that. You need something like a micro needling or micro channeling. But if you have like artificial fine lines on the forehead, you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It could definitely help with that. I actually had a client that we started doing dermaplaning facials on that.
Did you see the difference?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. There was this one fine line that was going from her chin up. I was like, okay, let's try the dermaplaning facial. And it's not there anymore. She went to go visit her family or her daughters, and they took like family pictures, and she said, oh my God, I don't even see it anymore.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
I told you. So cool.
You
so if you have those little fine lines that are setting in, and you're in your early 30s or mid 30s or something like that, and it's not quite prominent, consider doing a dermaplaning facial. It'll definitely, help with that artificial, setting. So it does help with that.
What else? What about scarring?
It does help with scarring. Yeah.
Both of them do. Just say. So you know how I mentioned like microdermabrasion? I was gonna say deletes, removes 20% of the epidermis. How would you say?
With the dermaplane, I would say the same, if not more.
I think so too,
because it's actually a surgical plate.
Yeah.
So it's about the same,
around there,
if not more.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question.
I know.
I actually haven't came across that in my studies.
But
yeah,
I thought about that. I'm like, okay, this is 20%. Yeah. I could just imagine how much the dermaplaning does.
Yeah. A lot more. Yeah, for sure. You want to go over differences?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll start with ours. So the dermaplane removes the hair and the skin, the vellus hair and the skin cells. Mm-hmm. With microdermabrasion,
I keep wanting to say deleting. Oh goodness, that is not good. Only skin cells.
Yeah, only the skin cells. Let's just say delete. They know what we're talking about.
You just delete the skin cells. Oh no, that is so Gen Z of me. Deleting the skin cells. Who let me?
Oh my God.
What about differences in the contraindications?
Are there differences?
Can you get that done if you're pregnant?
You can definitely do dermaplaning when you're pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Especially because they tend to experience like hyperpigmentation.
Yeah.
During.
But I would only do the dermaplaning, not the chemical pill. Because you can use the dermaplane, you can use dermaplane and chemical pills at the same time. Yeah. But I will only do
the chemical pill.
Unless it was a mandelic acid.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I would say the tool itself is different.
It's whole I mean, the tool is just a little tiny thing. Microdermabrasion is a whole ass. You know what? Yes, I said. That's a whole. I'm like, should I say it now? It's a whole ass machine. There you go.
You gotta plug it up and everything. Oh my God.
So it's funny. I know. You see how I caught my.
Your freaking face was so. It was like a child.
I know my mom's gonna see that. It's funny because
let me stop laughing.
When I'm in the treatment room, we have this machine, right? Like in the lower level. So you have to squat to get this machine out.
It is heavy.
So sometimes I'm like, dang, like I gotta lift this thing up. It's not. It's not a tiny machine. It's a heavy machine.
I can't wait till we show you guys what we're talking about. But it's heavy, and I think the same thing. I'm like, oh, I gotta go and pick up the machine again.
I'll never get over that.
We're keeping that in.
Oh yeah, that's me, guys. Like, should I say it?
Go ahead. This is your podcast.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, are we missing anything?
I wouldn't say that causes bruising.
No, but it can cut.
Yeah. Which is probably worse.
Yeah. Maybe not. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure. I would say no, not really, because the microdermabrasion, when it bruises, it stays for a couple days.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but if you nip the skin after it's done bleeding, you don't even notice it. Yeah. I know. I don't know. I think to each its own with that one.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go over some
comments?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see.
Are we still rolling?
Yes.
Perfect.
I'm like, let me make sure. Let's do. Okay, this one. I'm getting microdermabrasion for the first time soon. Any opinions / things I should know? Should I really expect it to work? If so, how long will the effects last? I feel like if it worked as well as it say it does, then everyone would get it, and there'd be no looking people. She went there.
No old looking people. What do you mean by that? No.
What does that mean?
I would say you really have to be on top of your at-home skincare routine after a microdermabrasion treatment, because it removes 20% of your skin, which means your skin is very dehydrated and dry.
You're gonna have to add your serums, your moisturizers, your oils, your hydrators.
And as far as if
effective,
yeah, will it be as effective? Yes.
I say
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. I definitely see improvement in my skin texture and overall skin health. It's
you can see it. Yeah. Even when we're doing like a treatment on someone, from when they start to when they finish.
Yeah.
Like the improvement, like you could see it. The shine. Of course, the shine, you're going to get it from the add-on of the treatment. I mean, the add-on of the moisturizers, the oils, the serums. That's when you can see, like, okay, this is actually working on my skin.
Yeah, the results are pretty instant. For microdermabrasion and derma-planning, the results are instant. And it's really cool.
I know.
It's so cool. Like, when I got a derma-planning done for the very first time, I was very shocked on how my skin felt, how it looked. I would go into more detail, but not today.
Yeah, no.
But I absolutely loved the results. Okay, so the next one, it says, thinking of getting microdermabrasion because the clinic I went to said my skin is too inflamed for chemical pills. I get dermatitis on my face on occasion. Has anyone had skin similar to mine and had good results with microdermabrasion? My problem is dark spots and uneven skin. Now, I don't have dermatitis because she said, does anybody have skin similar to hers? But I do have dark spots and uneven skin. And I would say I do see improvement while using the microdermabrasion machine, but I wouldn't do microdermabrasion on skin who has recently been diagnosed with dermatitis.
No.
Yeah.
I would say you will see improvement on the what's it called? On the
uneven
skin tone.
Yeah.
And I mean, it would be better if we seen like the rest of her face. Yeah.
Of her face, yeah.
But I would give it a try.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Dermaplaning. Yay or nay? I'm considering dermaplaning in my face. I told my mom and she was horrified and told me the hairs would grow back darker and thicker. Has anyone experienced this or is it a wife's tale? Are the results worth it? Well, we kind of went over that.
We did. But I do want to say something about this actually, because I actually personally, and I've dealt with clients who comes in, and you know how women, they deal with terminal hair on their chin.
Yes.
There's a lot of women who's dealing with terminal hair, which is the dark, thick hair underneath their chin region. And this is the thing. You don't want to go over the terminal dark coarse hair with a blade. That's for one. If you have terminal dark hair and you want to get a dermaplaning done, wax before coming in. Or what I would do, I would pluck all of the terminal hair and then go over it with the surgical blade.
It depends how much hair, right?
I personally would do a wax and then go over
that.
You can do a wax and a dermaplaning in the same day, but I would avoid the areas that I recently waxed. But going back to the terminal hair, I find that the hair growth slows down a lot.
I would say so.
It slows down so much because not only are you plucking the hair,
but you're also dermaplaning.
You're also
the surface,
dermaplaning over top of that area, and it slows down. And also the results. I'm not sure if anybody deals with the same thing that I do, but sometimes when I wax or even pluck hair, I have so much texture underneath my chin. Yeah. So irritating.
I've seen it before.
Yeah, but dermaplaning can help with that texture, bumpy, texturized skin that you typically see underneath the chin. So I would actually recommend a dermaplaning facial with someone who is experiencing that terminal hair. As long as you are doing your normal hair removal routine and then going to get it, it will definitely improve the hair growth. It will slow it down tremendously for sure.
That's some good advice.
Yeah.
And no, you won't grow a beard.
No, you won't. You will actually be improving it.
Yes. This is the other one.
Okay, let's see. It says, I have pretty tough, non-sensitive skin. My go-to for breakout are Aztec Healing Clay, the AHA BHA mask from The Ordinary, and tea tree oil. But I find it aesthetically pleasing to have a smooth, hairless face without a cast of tiny hairs. I just found out about dermaplaning and I'd like to try it myself, but I've always been told that shaving your face causes it to grow back thicker and faster, which is sometimes what I don't want. Has anyone experienced negative effects from dermaplaning? Is it safe? Should I be worried about micro tears in the skin? Thanks in advance. It is safe to get dermaplaning done. Just make sure that you go to a professional who is certified in it, and do your research before
on where to go.
Yeah, on where to go for it. I would not recommend doing dermaplaning at home.
Oh, no.
At all. So you don't get micro tears. We just went over that. But you can definitely get nipped, like cut with the blade. But also, there are multiple different blades for dermaplaning. One thing that I will say, what we use in the treatment room are polymer covered surgical blade, which helps with the overall experience. And it also helps with the blade to not get so dull, because sometimes estheticians have to, if they're not using the top of the line surgical blades, they have to change the blade halfway through the facial because it's so dull.
Yeah.
So make sure that your esthetician is using top of the line surgical blades to use on your skin. That'll definitely make the experience a lot more safer as well.
We went over the hair already. It won't grow back thicker.
Yeah.
Faster.
Some negative effects. So you want to go over one thing?
Would you say afterwards they experience, well, like, you know how you mentioned the waxing, that when you wax you experience texture? Would you say it's the same thing with dermaplaning?
I have seen some clients react a little bit to the products that I put on right after dermaplane.
And also of the dermaplaning itself.
But not so much the dermaplaning itself, yeah. The skin texture is actually smoother. But I will say, if you have oily skin, and you're going to get a dermaplaning, you may have some negative reaction, because I say this because you have oily skin, right?
Yes.
And that oil is traveling down the vellus hair, so it's
into that oily skin.
Yeah. So the oil is leaving the pores through the hair,
right?
And if you're removing the hair, that oil have no place to go, right? Because you've just removed the method of where the oils go. So instead of it going down the hair, it's actually getting trapped underneath the skin, and it can lead to adverse reactions, congestion, and things like that. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yep. So that's some sort of like adverse reactions that you may experience if you have oily skin. Yeah.
And then after that, I would say it just depends the treatment that you get afterwards. Products that you use. If you're not using anything at all afterwards, then
yeah. Oh yeah, you definitely want to use products right after. Yeah. You're
not just because I got it done, like it left
I don't have to do anything else.
No. You have to be consistent.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, good.
That was good.
I know. This was fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. We greatly appreciate it. If you are viewing our podcast on YouTube, don't forget to like. If you want to, please subscribe. Please, please, please.
Please subscribe.
It's gonna help.
If you want to, please do it.
It's literally gonna help us out a lot, just with our growth. And if you want to, comment down below. Do you want me to redo that?
No.
Okay, you sure? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, comment down below if you have any questions, or if you want to put some of your stories down in the comments. That would be good too.
Yeah. Any questions that you guys have about anything regarding, like, skincare? Yeah. Anything. We'll answer. Yeah. And for our podcast listeners, if you guys liked this episode, and if you guys really enjoyed us talking about these two different type of exfoliation methods, please leave a review there and rate it, please. Yeah. It really helps a lot. Yeah. And don't forget to follow as well on Spotify. Yeah, we'll greatly appreciate it. This was fun. It was. And we're going to have so many exciting things coming. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. So stay tuned, guys. For real, stay tuned. You're not going to be disappointed. No. Well, thank you, Essence. Thank you, Alondra. Safe travels to you. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Get there and back safely. Yes. Yeah. I will see you soon. All right. And I'll see you guys soon too. Bye.